That's better. Okay, it looks like it. Hello and welcome. Hello, Angelika.
Hello, Stephen.
Right, as you've probably gathered by now, we're trying a new setup, and this is Ask Angelika, season 6, episode 9, German sentences for spotting wildflowers. Angelika, would you like to explain what we're talking about today?
Oh dear. Yes. I was wondering, we had in the winter, we had lots of winter sports or sentences for winter sports, and that obviously we don't want to talk about that now. And I had an email from the Wiltshire Wildlife Trust at the end of May that the wildlife trusts in England and Wales, at least, those are the I know of, are trying to encourage people for every day during June to do something for nature or in nature, with nature, whichever way. Do you get an email every day with suggestions? And I thought, oh, that's a nice idea. So I thought, well, imagine you're going out for a walk and you're spotting some wildflowers and you're saying, oh, nice flowers, whatever you may say. But now imagine you're actually in Germany with some German friends or German family. And I hope I have thought of some of the sentences that you might actually use or hear when you're spotting some wildflowers.
Brilliant. Okay, so now it's different this week. You'll see in a minute what's going to happen. Okay, the screen has changed and you now got, we get there. German sentences for spotting wildflowers. Now, the way this works is I'm going to read each of the sentences. We've got 9 sentences today, as you can see, and Angelika will correct my pronunciation. Then together, if you're watching live or you're watching on the replay, then we will translate each sentence. And again, that's a team effort. I'm going to do the best I can. Angelika is there to, well, make sure it's right in the end. Okay, so Phrase 1. Schau mal, wie schön diese Blumen sind.
Yeah, schau mal, wie schön diese Blumen sind. That's probably the first thing you would exclaim when you come across maybe a meadow or something like this.
Right. Okay, now schön is beautiful. Blumen is flowers. So how beautiful the flowers are. And what is schau mal?
That is just when you're shouting out, look. It's almost the mal is difficult to translate. It's one of those filler words that just makes it sound nicer. We could have said schau wie schön diese Blumen sind, but to me there's something missing, and the schau mal is a bit like have a look, yeah. But in English we were just saying look. So it is look how beautiful these flowers are.
Understood. Right. Phrase 2 then. Was für eine Blume ist das?
Was für eine Blume ist das?
Right. We've established Blume is flower, so that's okay. And was für. Now that normally would literally be, what's it called?
No, if you were translating those 2 words individually, you'll end up with what for, which doesn't make any sense here. Was für it sort of means what type of.
Right. So what kind of flower is that?
Yeah, exactly. What kind of flower is that? What type of flower is that? That's used, you can use that for virtually everything. Was für Obst ist das? What type of fruit is that? Was für ein Baum ist das? What type of tree is it? Was für ein Auto ist das? What type of car is it? Or I could say, was für ein Auto hast du? If I wanted to ask somebody what type of car they have. It's always just was für.
Okay, gotcha. Right, phrase 3. Ich glaube, das ist ein Krokus, eine Alpenrose, eine Schneeglöckchen.
Ich glaube, das ist ein Krokus. So I've given you 3 choices. Or ich glaube, das ist eine Alpenrose. Or ich glaube, das ist ein Schneeglöckchen.
Right, I'm going to take a flyer at this. So I'm going to say, I believe that it's a crocus.
Okay.
Or it is an alpine rose.
Yeah.
Or Schnee. Schnee is snow. And I'm going to take a wild guess. It's obviously a flower name. I'm going to say snowdrop.
Yeah, exactly. I've chosen, you notice it's eine. These are the three of the articles. So we've got Krokus, the noun Krokus is a masculine noun. Alpenrose, the noun, is feminine, and Schneeglöckchen is neuter. So I've given you one each. Obviously, I wouldn't be able to name all the white flowers you might find somewhere. So I've just given you three choices. But you could replace that with whatever else you might see.
Very good. You're watching Stephen and Angelika or Angelika and Stephen probably, German sentences for spotting wildflowers. And we're on to phrase number 4. Wollen wir später nachschauen, was das für eine Pflanze ist?
Ja. Wollen wir später nachschauen, was das für eine Pflanze ist?
Right. No, there are apps that do this.
Yes, they do. But imagine we haven't got one of those.
Right. Pflanze is plant. So what type of plant? Because we know that from earlier on.
Yeah.
And should we, wollen wir, später is later. Should we look it up later?
Yeah. Something like that. So shall we have a look later to see what kind of a plant it is? So I guess you take a photograph and then you try and find out what it is. Unless you've got one of those apps, of course. I didn't think of those, but yes.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Okay. Phrase 5. Ich habe so eine Blume noch nie gesehen.
Ja, ich habe so eine Blume noch nie gesehen.
I've never seen a flower like that before.
Absolutely.
Right, so that was simple and straightforward. Phrase 6. Die Farben sind so kräftig.
Ja, die Farben sind so kräftig.
All right, and I'm just, die Farben is colours.
Yeah.
And I don't know kräftig. What is kräftig?
Right. Kräftig could mean strong, but when you're talking about colours, it's more like vibrant. They're really vibrant.
The colours are so vibrant.
Mm.
Okay. And phrase 7. Hier wachsen ganz viele.
Yeah, hier wachsen ganz viele.
Ganz viele is so many.
Mm-hmm.
And hier wachsen. What does the verb wachsen actually mean?
To grow.
To grow. There are so many flowers growing here.
Yeah, exactly. Because we think an adult is ein Erwachsener because they're grown up.
Okay, gotcha. Phrase 8. Warte, ich mache ein Foto davon.
Ja, davon. Warte, ich mache ein Foto davon.
Wait, I will take a photograph of them.
Yeah, well, davon can mean of it or of them. That depends on what you want to. I mean, if you found one particular flower really nice and you just want to take a picture of this one flower, you could use davon. But also, if you want to take a picture of all of them, it would still be davon. Whereas in English, you would need to decide whether you wanted to say, wait, I'll take a picture of it or of them.
And last phrase of today is phrase 9. Das sieht aus wie einem Bilderbuch.
Ja, das sieht aus wie aus einem Bilderbuch.
Right. Now, Bilder is picture. Book is book. So a picture book. And that looks like something from a picture book.
Exactly.
Okay. Now, what's going to happen now is I'm going to scroll up here and Angelika's going to read the German perfectly, of course, and I'm going to attempt the English. So let's start off with phrase 1.
Okay, schau mal, wie schön diese Blumen sind.
Look how beautiful these flowers are.
Was für eine Blume ist das?
What kind of flower is that?
Ich glaube, das ist ein Krokus. Eine Alpenrose, ein Schneeglöckchen.
I think that's a crocus, an alpine rose, or a snowdrop.
Wollen wir später nachschauen, was das für eine Pflanze ist?
Shall we look at what kind of plant this is later?
Ich habe so eine Blume noch nie gesehen.
I've never seen a flower like that before.
Die Farben sind so kräftig.
The colours are so vibrant.
Hier wachsen ganz viele.
There are so many growing here.
Warte, ich mache ein Foto davon.
Wait, I'll take a picture of it or them.
Ah, das sieht aus wie aus einem Bilderbuch.
Right, so that's the 9 sentences for today, all about spotting wildflowers, and I'm going to switch the photograph and hopefully bring a different photograph in and go add to stream, replace, and then screen's going to move about a bit, and eventually in a second I shall be able to bring that up on screen like that. Angelika, would you like to tell us about the book that's showing on screen now?
Yes, that's my vocabulary book. It's slightly different than general vocabulary books that you can buy in the stationery shops, which just has lined paper and a line in the middle. So you're writing one language on one side and next to it the other language. So you would write your German vocab on the left and then right next to it the English translation. My vocab book goes a step further. It's got a page like this. It's got 4 pages, I think, I can't remember now, for a topic. So you've got a page where you can just write your vocab down. So this would be a good page for this topic, for example, to write down der Krokus, die Alpenrose, das Schneeglöckchen, and then you're writing next to it the crocus, the Alpenrose, the snowdrop. But you also have pages for sentences, because I always think the best way to learn the language is not just by writing down the vocabulary, but to turn those into sentences. Because it's actually very rarely that you would actually say the crocus or der Krokus. But you may say, ich glaube, das ist ein Krokus. So I think that's a crocus. Yeah, or schau mal, wie schön diese Blumen sind. It says, look how beautiful these flowers are. So that you don't just learn your vocabulary, but you actually have the chance of turning those into sentences. For example, the ones from our Ask Angelika shows, they're already there with the translations. So you could copy them out and you could also do your own. Maybe add some more names of flowers, those that you might be interested in, those that you're looking out for. The topic, the vocab book also has 1 page for doodles. So especially with this topic, if you're a really good drawer, which I wouldn't be, my flowers would all look the same, but I know other people can draw really well. You could even draw a crocus and then label it in German and in English. So there's lots of things. And then it's topic based, so you can write down what topic that was. So this might have been spotting wildflowers, and it makes it easier to later on find again. Whereas if you're writing vocabulary on a piece of scrap paper or in your form A4 ring binder, and then you're looking for something, you're constantly sitting there trying to find, oh, where was that page where I've written all about these wildflowers? Yeah, in the vocab book, you just check, oh, it was page 24. That's where all the wildflowers are.
Brilliant.
So there we are. It's just a good way to revise what you've learned.
Yeah, I mean, if you write things down, you're more likely to remember them, aren't you?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So there we are.
And again, if you're writing down the sentences, yeah. So if you write down eine Blume, and then you write next to it in English a flower, okay, that's fine. But if you then have, ich habe so eine Blume noch nie gesehen, I've never seen a flower like that before, you can then also use that sentence as a template. What else have you never seen before?
That's true.
Yeah. So you could change eine Blume with whatever else you may just talking about or wanting to talk about. So having the sentences is a lot better as well.
And hopefully this will work. I'm just waiting for something to happen.
Oh, you're here.
I'm here. Right, you have been watching. I'm just going to put that on screen. And it will appear on screen in a second, or I'll appearing. So I'm here. And
Yes.
we'll just bring this on screen. Okay, watching Ask Angelika, Season 6, Episode 9, German sentences for spotting wildflowers. Angelika, what are we going to talk about next time?
I don't know yet. I think I'll carry on with this theme, but I haven't decided yet what we'll be spotting next time, or what we'll be looking out for, or what we may be doing. I don't know yet, but it will be something nice, I'm pretty sure.
Well, this has been Angelika and Stephen on One Stream Live, our new home for Ask Angelika. We'll be back when we're back.
Hopefully in 2 weeks' time, but considering it took us a week to get this recording going, who knows?
We've done everything right. We now have everything that we need to actually broadcast Ask Angelika.
So whenever it is, until then, it's tschüss von mir.
Und tschüss von mir.